Yamaha surprised us last year by launching a new product in the Indian market. This particular product opened up a new segment and especially catered to enthusiasts in our country. Hello and welcome to DriveSpark. This is Bharadwaj and that is the Yamaha Aerox 155. Now we are checking out this performance maxi scooter and we'll tell you everything you need to know about how the scooter rides and what are its features and also how does it look. Let's get started. Now before I go ahead and speak about the scooter and how does it ride, let me give you a few basic details and also one of the most important thing, that's the exhaust note. Starting with the basic details, this is priced at 1.3 lakh ex-showroom Bangalore and it is available in 3 shades as of now while making this video. That's because Yamaha has recently launched the 2022 MotoGP Monster Energy edition on this scooter, which was available at the time of the launch but it was discontinued at a later date. Now it's back again. But this, what you see here, is the racing blue. This is the standard color of the Aerox, also the launch color, and there is one more color available that's called the grey vermilion. That's also available as standard on the scooter. Now these are all the price and color details, and let me get to one of the most important part in this video, that's the exhaust note. But first I will have to put this scooter on a center stand because it's a CVT gearbox. Let me do that. Grab rails, there's no grab rails. I'll have to tuck my hand under the seat and get it. So side stand cannot be on, otherwise the scooter won't start because it has a side stand cutoff. But let me start. Now there is another interesting thing apart from the exhaust on this scooter. That's because you did not hear the traditional sound from the starter button. That's because this scooter features an ISG starter that will help this scooter to have a silent start system. So basically it's a motor and a small battery that will prime the engine and not use a traditional motor. So this is one good feature. And now let's speak about the design of the scooter. Now if you are a MotoGP fan or if you are familiar with the MotoGP paddock, you will be familiar with this scooter because this is a scooter that has been ridden over the years by MotoGP riders inside the paddock. Now moving on to the design of the scooter, from the front it absolutely looks aggressive and menacing, especially with this dual pod headlamp cluster. Now this features LED lighting all over. There are LED pilot lamps and also there is LED headlights on both of these clusters. However, the indicator that is placed right here is a halogen unit. If that was a LED unit, it would have been a little more premium or give it a little more premium feel. What did you think? Mention them in the comments below. Moving on to other aspects of the front design of the scooter, you get a dual tone apron. This is finished in matte black and this is finished in the racing blue color. And coming to the badging, you get Aerox badging right here and you get a blue core badging, that's Yamaha's fuel injection technology, and you get a Yamaha badging right here as well. And the mudguards are finished in body color and so are the wheels. Now those wheels look absolutely superb on the side profile. Let us just get to that in a minute. Before that, some other features are you get a small fly screen right here to take out wind buffeting for the rider. If you are a tall rider, this won't make any difference, but it is a good to have feature indeed. Also from the front, you get to see these silver or aluminum finished brake levers and that adds to the look or the premium feel of the scooter. Now let's move on to the side profile and let me tell you a little more details and interesting facts on the side profile of the scooter.
You can kick me round, but I won't stay down. I run this town, ain't backing down. We going in rounds. Yeah, the wind's more low, but it's roots too deep. I'm on my feet, the underdog, and I won't be.
Now, when you see the scooter from the side profile, one interesting bit is this particular subframe or a design feature. So this creates an X which has X in its name, that's the Aerox. Interesting fact over there. and rest of the scooter actually looks very bulky from the side. You get large panels and sporty panels on the side, and right here is the footrest. Now this scooter is a little bit less on practicality as compared to others in the market. You get only small footrest on both sides, and you do not get a pass through right here to keep any of your stuff. That's because the fuel tank is placed right here, and this aids to a better center of gravity as well, and this gives it a very good handling. I'll talk about that later in the video. And also there are other features when it comes to side. Right here you get integrated grab rail right here. There's nothing on the exterior to make it look ugly. So Yamaha has given this scooter a very clean design, and also you can see a single seat, step seat right here, and there is a very large profile for the rider to move about. You get a lot of space for the rider, but for the pillion it is a small seat, but nevertheless it is well cushioned, and two-up riding is possible for long distances on this scooter. Moving on to other bits on the side profile, this particular stand right, what you see here is for the pillion. When pillion sits on the scooter, their knees are a little high up because of the design. So long distance can be troublesome if the pillion sitting behind is a tall person. There are other features right here. Actually, as I said, this is a fuel tank, and to access that fuel tank, you will have to first switch off the scooter, and then there is a button right here to engage the fuel filler cap right here. So you can remove it and then fill fuel here. Now to access the seat storage of the Yamaha Aerox 155, you have another button right next to the key cluster. Once you press on it, and the scooter has to be turned off for this as well, you can access a 24.5 liter of underseat storage on this particular scooter. Now this is a very big space considering the size of the scooter. However, it can fit a full face helmet, but there is a catch. Now you have to store the helmet upside down for you to able to close the seat here, and you can store some more like half a liter water bottle or your wallet as well, but the helmet has to be stored upside down for it to fit under this seat. Now that is about the seat storage. Let me talk a little bit about other build quality and body panels of this scooter. Right here, when you see, you get a two-step body panel right here that makes it look sporty, and you get a very good triple tone finish right here, because there's grey, there's black, and there's also blue of the scooter, and it absolutely looks fantastic. With that, let me speak about the build quality as well. There are no loose panel gaps on the scooter. It is absolutely built very sturdily, and one of the best from the Yamaha that I can say. So that is about the side profile of the scooter. Oops, I missed one thing. You have already seen it in the video, but there is a very raspy and stubby exhaust right here, and it absolutely sounds brilliant. I bet you already saw it in the beginning of this video. Now it's time to go to the rear profile of the scooter. Now I've switched on the scooter so that I can show you how the tail light looks. Actually, it is a very tiny tail light and more of a motorcycle-ish look. The rear section of the scooter is a more or less motorcycle-ish look. What I can say is, because the tail tidy and everything seems to be taken from other Yamaha motorcycles on the scooter. However, this particular halogen indicator is something that could have been better. It could have had a more sleeker LED unit, which would have made the scooter look even more aggressive from the rear. That's about the design of the scooter. Now let's speak about other features that are there in the scooter, especially with the switchgear and also the instrument cluster. Now coming to the switchgear of the scooter, Yamaha has made some interesting choices in what switchgear that have been provided on the scooter. Towards my right is the auto start stop feature that is there on the scooter. You can manually switch it off or switch it on if you need it, and also there is the silent start button or a starter button right here, and that is what is there on the right side of the cluster. Now the left side of the cluster has a couple of more buttons, starting with the high beam and low beam and also indicator and horn. But you also have a menu button right here that you might mistakenly use it as a pass switch. Now this is a performance scooter, and I would have loved to see that menu button be an actual pass switch. Since it is not, I'll have to have a workaround with it and just flip the high and low beam to give a pass signal whenever you're overtaking a vehicle. But this could have been integrated better. They could have moved the menu switch towards the instrument cluster and made this as a pass switch, which is a very common feature, more bike-ish like, and that is what, those are my thoughts. Mention what are your thoughts in the comments if you would have liked that as a pass switch. Moving on, let me go to the instrument cluster. Now this is a 5.8-inch negative LCD instrument cluster. It gives you a whole host of information, including average fuel efficiency, instantaneous fuel efficiency, 2 trip meters, odometer, and the speed, and also your RPM as well. Yes, you get to see your RPM meter. Since this is a performance scooter, Yamaha has given this an RPM meter that is present on both sides of the instrument cluster, and it absolutely looks very good. Now there are some telltale signs also present on either side of the instrument cluster that regards to ABS, indication, high beam, low beam, etc. Most of all, what Yamaha has given this scooter is its Yamaha Y Connect smartphone application. Now this is a Bluetooth enabled scooter, so they have given the application, and the application will give you a host of details like call and SMS notification on the instrument cluster. And when you fire the app on your smartphone, you can see instantaneous rev matching happening. If you accelerate the scooter, that particular rev will also be seen on the application. Apart from that, there are no other functional features such as turn-by-turn navigation. That is a miss according to me. They could have given the turn-by-turn navigation, which would have made life simpler on this scooter for the riders. Now the Yamaha Aerox also features a charging socket. Yes, I'm telling charging socket because it's not a USB port, it's a 12-volt charging socket, and it has to be accessed through this little bit flimsy car, I can say, because it certainly has the waterproofing inside, but it certainly is not one of the sturdy built parts of the scooter. And for the charging socket, you will have to literally go inside the scooter and access it. And also make sure that your phone is not 6 inches long, otherwise it won't fit inside while it's charging. Before I tell you how the scooter rides, let me show you how a rider would sit on the scooter. Now you can see Manu is sitting right here, and you can see he's sitting a little bit upright because the seat is contoured here, and he can move, he can take in aggressive corners as well. And also, as I told you earlier, there is very less space for a foot. If you are riding with ADV boots for some reason on this scooter, it will certainly not be so comfortable. So something like a city riding boots will certainly fit in there. And also, when you brake, make sure that you have it wedged right here, otherwise your foot is gonna slip and you will have tough time controlling the scooter. So this is something that I wanted to point out. Otherwise the scooter is very comfortable and you can do long distance. On that note, let me tell you how the scooter rides. Yamaha Aerox 155 not only borrows its inspiration from motorcycles but also borrows its engine as well, because this particular scooter features a same engine as the R15 model that is on sale in India. However, it is detuned a little because this produces 15 PS. However, the R15 produces nearly around 19 PS of power. However, the torque figures are almost similar because this produces around 13.9 Nm of torque. On the other hand, the R15 produces 14.2 Nm of torque. So it is more or less same torque that you get from the Aerox 155 as same as the R15. Now moving on, this is also a fuel injected liquid cool engine. You can see the radiator that is placed on behind the exhaust unit. And also, speaking about the performance of the scooter, I absolutely love it. That's because this is a scooter that can give you the thrill of riding each and every time when you swing your legs over the saddle on the scooter. Now because of the VVA technology that this particular engine features, there is a wide spread of power on the mid-range, on the low end, and also on the top end as well. This will get to triple digit speeds within no time and can cruise at 80 or 90 all day long if you ignore the rev counter. This makes the Aerox 155 certainly one of the sportiest scooter available in the Indian market. Despite its large profile, this is a very nimble scooter. And on that note, let me speak about the suspension and the handling of the scooter. When it comes to ride quality, the suspension is on a firmer side. On the front, you get a telescopic fork, and at the rear, you get a twin shock absorbers, both of which are set a little on the firmer side. Now, this gives it a very stiff ride quality. However, there is an advantage to this. That's because if the roads are smooth, it will handle like a charm. And the IRC tires that have been provided on this scooter will help that even further to take aggressive corners, and the seat also supports the rider to lean and take some aggressive corners on this scooter. But on broken roads, you will certainly feel the thud going over rough patches. Finally, coming to the brakes of the scooter, this can certainly stop on the dime. Now the braking hardware given on the scooter is a 230 mm disc at the front and a 130 mm drum at the rear. supported by a single channel ABS at the front. Now the IRC tires that I've given on the scooter also supports to reduce braking distance, and the rider can certainly brake with full confidence on this particular scooter. Also, when I mentioned to my friends that I'll be reviewing the Aerox 155, they had one particular question that they have been asking since I have started reviewing the scooter, if the scooter can go long distances. For that, one word answer is yes. This can certainly take in 2-up riding, and it can take in a lot of luggage because of the 24.5 liter storage. It can cruise all day long for 80 to 90 kilometers. So completing a 200 kilometer journey in a day will not be a problem on this scooter, especially if the road is good. You will certainly enjoy, and if it is twisty, you will enjoy it even more. So that is all about how the scooter rides. It is certainly one of the most performance oriented and one of the most thrilling scooters that is there on the Indian market, and you can certainly feel that every time when you switch on this scooter. Now that was our take on the Yamaha Aerox 155 Maxi scooter. According to me, you will have a lot of fun on this scooter, especially if the roads are smooth and twisty. What did you think about this Maxi scooter? Let us know in the comments below. Also like and share this video, and do subscribe to DriveSpark if you haven't done it already. This is Bharadwaj signing off. Stay safe and keep revving.